All right, how's everybody doing today? Hope everybody had a good day so far, and we're going to go over a couple things here real quick. So, in my last video, I think we were talking about the core meaning of 888, and new beginnings, right? New beginnings, victory over evil. Okay. Now, what is funny about all this, viewed as the divine counterbalance to 666, the number of the beast or man's rebellion. Okay, there's so much confusion in this world about the mark of the beast, and it's the Antichrist is a dude, right? No, 666. 6 electrons, 6 protons, 6 neutrons. 666. That's what carbon is. We are all carbon based. So like I said before, the rise of the Antichrist, it's all the same. The rise of the beast system. We are the beast system. We're animals, right? It's all the same thing. There's no beast system coming, nothing new under the sun. It's already here. There's no Antichrist coming. It's already here. It resides within the men and women that walk this planet. And you can see that playing out, heaven and hell, right here on Earth. So anyway, we'll just go back to the new beginnings thing. So the old timeline ended, and this is where it gets pretty freaking amazing. So I already talked about D-Day, right? Someone pointed out to me, thank you for that. I couldn't comment. Or no, that one I actually could. It actually let me comment yesterday, so that was kind of cool. But anyway, right here is an 8 as well. And that's going to be important here in just a second. Because we'll go to 666, right? Well, if you have June, the 6th month, on the 6th day, 2026, there's a 666 on the 6th day, right? So that's kind of promising as well. We did the gematria, the breakdown, came to 8, so there's another 8. We talked about that. The 888 from the great. So, like I said, that timeline, I'm pretty sure, ended. Now, this is what's really cool. This happened this morning, or actually last night. Well, actually, apparently it's been going on for a few days. And what we had happen is within the last 36 hours, the sun has produced, which I find it funny that they use 36 hours as the marker because 3 and 6 is 9, right? 3, 6, 9. But the sun produced two 1.2 M flares, one 1.3 M flare, one 9.3 M flare, and one X flare, 1.0 X flare. And they're due to arrive, guess when? Between Friday and Saturday, which would be the 6th day, right? On the 6th day, man was created. So, yeah, I mean, things are really looking up for that 6. Now, pardon me, is this another push? Who knows? Because I'm just not seeing it that way like I did the blue moon and everything else as far as what they're pushing. And another thing that's really kind of weird is I saw this movie once a long time ago, and I only watched it just because of the title. So I don't remember specifically what happened. It does involve a clone that goes by the name of Adam. Okay? So that's your DNA coming out of the dust that Adam and Eve were cloned from, so to speak, because we're all just copies of a clone. Everything got destroyed. I know people don't really like that thought. I didn't like that thought when I first learned about it years and years and years ago. Like I said, a lot of this stuff is nothing new to me. But anyway, in the movie The Sixth Day, in the end, I think the real Adam gets to return home because the clone Adam dies. I'm seeing right here, Adam returns home on his birthday. So again, I don't know if that means we're going to have to go to the 14th. Like I said, we've got that date that they're promoting, and they're promoting it, so that's the push. I don't think we're getting there. I think the alignment coming up on the 10th was very important, is very important, but I think that's also could be part of the days being shortened, going from the 10th to here. So, as far as the stuff that's in the news, peace and no peace, and everybody's looking, like I said, the peace, no peace just happens along a timeline. Like he said, Iran would have already struck if they hadn't done what they'd done, so we passed that. So even if something happens going forward, which we think we're doing, right, it didn't occur here in the timeline where it was supposed to. All they have to do is prevent things from happening like they did previously. And like I said, I just flipped right upside down, sorry. And like I said, that's why Satan was cast to earth, because he knew when he did it, how he did it, what tools he used. It is what it is. So, for me personally, all this going down on the 6th, very, very, very promising, especially since we have all these incoming X flares and M flares, and those sunspots are, all Earth facing now. They came around and became Earth facing, I guess, over the last same 36-hour period of time. So that's all very promising. I hear a lot of people talking about being tired, nervous energy. Yeah, that's the stuff. Okay, so not only does it come in supposedly from the sun, but the sun is a reflection of what goes on here. So it's really stuff that's oozing out of the ground. I made a comment years ago about the amplification factor. So let's just say if you're a nervous Nelly, so to speak, by nature, you're going to feel it a lot more with this energy coming in. And that's the only way I can, George Carlin explained it once in a comedy. I think it was about pot or maybe cocaine, that it amplifies the personality. And, so what happens if you're an asshole? Well, now you're an amplified asshole. And you see all that happening all over the world too. All these energies, people think it's just day-to-day life, and it's not. This is this is a time of life that, and I can't say we've never experienced it. And this is, when I first started on this, I didn't realize how, the loops involved, how we were going through them. But to give you an idea, so let's look at the whole COVID loop, okay? Just change the names, right? In the 80s, if you're old enough to remember the 80s, we went through a similar period of time. They called it AIDS. And it was brought to you by the same Dr. Fauci that was present for COVID. It manifested itself in a different form, but it still basically got down to, if you lived through the 80s and all the rumors that were going on around it, man involving monkeys messing, get you right, that it always goes to man's doing something stupid with animals to get these things, and it's not the case at all. So anyway, so that, the whole COVID thing played out in the 80s, and also we had Ebola back then, just like, the scare today. We also had Ronald Reagan was shot at, just like President Trump was shot at during, shortly thereafter. It's all the same time loop, right? Because then you went from the 80s into the 90s, and then we got into 2001 and we had 9/11, so we had the two squares on the hopscotch board, right? This loop has been going on. So when I started studying and I'm watching all the timelines, I wasn't specifically looking for loops. But looking back at all the stuff that's going on today and seeing the loops play out, yeah, it kind of makes a difference there. But anyway, that's, that's the past. I don't look at the past. I'm looking right now 3 days down the road. So, like I said, we'll see. Nobody knows for certain, but boy, the signs are looking really good for the 6th, aren't they? So hopefully it'll let me leave some comments if you guys see something going on in the sun, and what's on the earth, and just these different time markers that I'm missing. Go, feel free to point them out. Like I said, I don't claim to know everything. I just know what I see, right? So on that note, everybody have a wonderful day. I love you all. Take care. Bye bye.